Hello guys, this is Philip Plank from Planks Pro Detailing. Today I'd like to show you guys around my mobile detailing setup. The truck is an 03 Chevy Silverado SS, so it's got the 6.5 foot bed. Works out really well for what I'm doing. I'll show you guys around, but I've done quite a bit of work to this. Most of the stuff I've modified or something. There's probably less things on here that are custom than aren't. But I'll show you guys around and show you guys what it looks like. So I'll try to show you guys a bit what it's like when I show up to a job, what I do. First thing is open the cover. It's a 4-fold cover, so it folds 4 times. I like the way it opens. I had to put custom bungees on here to hold it shut, just because the other stuff I have mounted in the way keeps me from using the ones that it came with. So I typically just open it like that, and then there's a couple things that I always just pull out. So I'll pull out the prep spray, water jug. If I'm washing a car, I'll set this out, and leaf blower. Vacuum. I'll either pull it out or let it in there. It just depends on the job. But I'll pull everything out to show you guys what stuff looks like. A ladder slides up in here. This ladder, I actually shortened it just so it doesn't take up quite as much space. And then this here, I typically just slide it out to get a little closer to my bottles and stuff. So I'll try to show you guys around fairly quickly. For what I've got going on here, it's a lot of stuff that I cut up or did something to. Right here I have my hose reel guides. I've got a 50-foot air hose and 50-foot pressure washer hose. Both of the reels are all the way in the back. I had to modify them both to make them work, of course. Next I have a 75-gallon water tank. Plenty of water for a typical day. On the right side, all the way in the back there, you can't see it here, but there's a 12-volt pump that runs up here to the generator, and it just shuts off automatically when it reaches a certain pressure. So that's really handy. I don't have to worry about turning that off and on. And that runs water to the generator, of course, to the pressure washer, sorry, of course. Pressure washer is an AR630. So far it's been good to me. I've got it just sitting right on top of the wheel well, strapped in, stays there real nice. As far as running water back to the water tank, I've got 2 hoses, and for the reason for that is I've got one hose that just goes to the tank to fill it, and then the other one is actually a hose that goes directly to the pressure washer only. And the reason for that is when I'm doing like an RV, and say maybe I've got 1 or 2 vehicles that are pretty muddy, or trucks, you know, carpet liners and stuff. Sometimes I will run out of water, and then I can just hook up to water and run it directly to the pressure washer. That way I don't have to worry about the spotless water mixing with other city water or whatever. And also the bottom one there I can use to fill up buckets. I've got a little hose extension that I can stick on there, but I usually just fill up my bucket with water before I leave in the morning. I've got a lid for it. So that's what works good for me. Of course, if I'm doing more than one car, then I need to fill it up. For the generator, I've got the WEN 4800. Works well for me. I have tripped it like a couple times when I'm like really loading it down using the vacuum and the extractor and maybe the steamer. I have tripped it already, but that really doesn't happen very often. It didn't come with a remote start, but I just added that myself, this remote right here, and I carry that with me, and I do often shut it off through the day when I'm not using it, so it doesn't just run all day. The air compressor is just a rigid air compressor everybody uses, and I've got a little fan right there between the two there, tucked in up top. Helps keep some cool air going in there. It does get pretty warm back there on hot days, but I have the exhaust wrap, and I have that piece of insulation up against the tank to help keep heat off of it, to keep the water from getting real hot on hot days. I keep extra gas with me. I wouldn't need to. I never use a tank of gas in a day, but it's just handy to have that so that when it runs out, I just have it and I don't need to fill it up every morning or every time it's getting low. I can just fill it up when it's getting close to low. And I have plenty of room for the gas, so it doesn't bother me. Right here, I've got a bucket just for some random miscellaneous stuff. I got a foam cannon in there, some foam cannon pre-wash. I've got some brushes and a clay mitt. And that's not stuff I use every day. I typically just two-step the wheels. But on the random occasion that I need that stuff, I have it. I have my gloves right here. All I did for them was stick a magnet in the back of the box and it just stays right there. My Tornador Black I've got stuck right there. It stays there really nicely, and the reason I did that, have it back there and not further up front, is because I really just don't use it that much. I now just use the normal Tornador. Pretty much use it a lot more than I use that, even for interior details. I've got this tray that I keep stuff in, or for doing interiors. My towels right here. Probably more towels than most people keep with them. And also I fold them. I just take the time to do that because I like a folded towel. This is a Tekton pack out type of tray. I've got all my sprays up there in the top. Got this thing mounted right there with a little holder, that way it doesn't go sliding everywhere. And then I've got this drawer with brushes, applicator pads, some O-rings, you know, for the pressure washer and stuff. And that is about everything for that. I put this poly stuff on the tailgate, so I've got a nice work area. Also, this ladder, I shortened the top about 4 inches just so it doesn't take as much room in there. Right there, I've got some extra Dark Fury and another Ego battery. So that's about it for everything from the bed. I do have a lot of things up in the cab, polishers, some extra chemicals even, stuff that I just don't use every day. On the passenger side, I have my extractor. I've got a Mighty, forget what the number is, 8070 or something. On the passenger side in the back seat, I also keep a tent through the summer anyway. I keep a tent in the passenger front seat. It's just myself, so that works out fine. Other than that, I think that pretty much covers my setup for the bed anyway. I did have to cut some holes in the bed for different things, and I understand that's not what everybody wants to do, so this setup is not for everyone. It works absolutely perfect for me. But if you're not wanting to make any holes in your bed or, you know, stuff like that, this might not be the best setup, and obviously a van would be more ideal. Hopefully someday I'll be able to upgrade to a van, but right now this is what I got and it works great. Let me know if there's anything else you guys have questions about, and I'll try to get back to you.